What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Eddie's Films and Stuff. My name is Eddie, in case this is your first time here. But it's July right now. We're in the midst of the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. The sale kind of inspired me to make this video because, Criterion, I've been collecting Criterion since, I don't know, maybe 2018, 2019. And since then, I've definitely seen a growth. I mean, obviously it's been around way longer than the last couple of years, but as far as like when I got into it, I've definitely seen a growth. More people every year, every sale. It's like more and more people start collecting Criterion. And, I'm all for it. I'm happy to see more and more people getting into the label and supporting the label. And anyway, this time of year got me reflecting in, why I collect Criterion and what makes Criterion so special. I just wanted to share why I collect Criterion and why I think you should as well. If you're someone who has not quite bought into the hype, or you're someone who maybe has a few but you want to expand your collection, maybe these reasons will resonate with you. So I wanted to share 3 reasons why I collect Criterion. So this first reason might not be for everybody. If you're someone who only buys movies that you're gonna rewatch and only movies that you've seen and love, this reason might not be for you. But if you're someone who does a lot of blind buying like myself, then this might be a big one for you. So the first reason is going to be film discovery. I'm someone who got into, I guess, the cinephile space, or, film, whatever you want to call it. I got into film later in life. I always watched movies, obviously, growing up. Went to the movies to see the big blockbusters, but I never really dove deep into foreign cinema or classic Hollywood, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, up until recently, the last couple of years, the oldest film I had probably seen was, not including the classic Disney movies. I mean, honestly, probably films from the 90s, 80s was as far as I got. So it wasn't up until the last couple of years that I've really started to dig deeper into film history and just films from all over the world, from all decades. So let me just give you an example. So this is a film from 1988. It's a French-Dutch film, and that's The Vanishing. Aside from a couple of Criterion recommendation videos, I had never heard of this film. No one in my real life has ever mentioned this film. And like I said, aside from a couple of Criterion videos on YouTube, I've never heard of this. Well, thanks to those videos, or thanks to whoever mentioned this movie, I took a chance on it. I went ahead and bought it during a Criterion sale, and I loved it. Another example, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of David Lynch. Up until recently, the last few years, I had never heard of David Lynch, and Criterion allowed me to discover this film right here, Blue Velvet, which I really, really enjoyed, and great film. And I never would have watched it if it weren't for Criterion. If I would have stumbled across Blue Velvet on a streaming service, I more than likely wouldn't have clicked on it, wouldn't have watched it. But because I took a chance on it during a Criterion sale, I already spent the money on it. I'm going to give it a watch. So gave it a watch, loved it. One last example. This is kind of turning into a recommendations in a way, but it's fine. We'll roll with it. A film from 1986, Something Wild. Directed by Jonathan Demme and starring like Ray Liotta, Jeff Daniels, Melanie Griffith. A film that I've never heard anybody talk about other than this small Criterion space on YouTube, and took a chance on it. I honestly had this sitting on the shelf for a couple of years until I finally watched it, and I loved it. It was a great film, and I thank Criterion for allowing me to discover films like these, because I bought them, I watched them, I loved them, and I'm glad I own them. And I guess the other side of the argument would be, well, maybe some of these titles have regular Blu-ray releases. And I get that. I'm not as likely to go on Amazon and search for these movies and buy them. I guess another reason that I'll get to soon will kind of explain why I go through Criterion, and it'll make more sense. The second reason why I think Criterion is so awesome and I love to buy their stuff is because of special features and packaging, what kind of throw those in together. That's not to say that Criterion releases are always loaded with special features. It does happen where a film or a release doesn't necessarily come with a ton of special features, and that could be for a multitude of reasons. It could be a film that was filmed or made decades ago, and the people involved, the actors, filmmakers, might just not be around anymore to give interviews, or there might just not be a lot of things in the archives. But in other cases, I'll just take this movie for example, Pan's Labyrinth. This is one of my favorite films of all time, which, again, thank you Criterion. I know it's a mainstream title, but I honestly never watched it until I bought the Criterion. I was able to watch the commentary with Guillermo del Toro, and a lot of these Criterion releases come loaded with commentaries. They come with, booklets, essays, interviews, and yeah, just great stuff. And as far as the commentary on this goes, I was able to watch and listen to it, and just hearing Del Toro talk about, why he chose the color palette that he did for this film, and just kind of talked about the different motifs throughout the movie, and just all these things that I never would have picked up on if not for the commentary. And I just thank Criterion for providing that. And maybe a lot of these, I know this got a regular 4K. I'm not sure if that release got a commentary as well. You can let me know in the comments. But it's just another thing that Criterion does so well is just include these amazing special features and commentaries. And like I said, just booklets that you wouldn't get with a regular release. So when you're a fan of the film, like I am with this movie, stuff like this just really goes a long way. So, that's special features. And then as far as packaging goes, of course, sometimes you get your standard clear case, which I think still looks really good on the shelf. But sometimes you get releases like these with Pinocchio, another Del Toro film, and WALL-E. And just starting off with WALL-E, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this before, but it comes with this like thick packaging with amazing artwork. And of course, you open it up and still includes a booklet with some great art and disc art. And of course, Pinocchio as well. Just honestly, the artwork really sold me on this one. I love the movie. I was going to get it anyways, but looking at that artwork just really sold me. And again, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before, but you open this up, again, another booklet. And this also comes with some commentaries as well. You open this up and you get this bad boy. And that's just awesome. And I think that's a really cool little detail to add. And yeah, special features and packaging. Like I said, Criterion doesn't always do these fancy releases. A lot of the times you get these regular cases, but sometimes you'll get the digipacks that I think look really, really cool. So yeah, special features and packaging. Another reason why I love Criterion. And the third, and maybe not the final reason, but just the main ones that I wanted to talk about today. The third reason would be just in-store shopping. I don't know about you, but where I live, there's not a ton of stores where I can just walk in and browse the physical media section. We all know that Best Buy got rid of that. Walmart's real hit or miss for me. And I don't have a lot of used secondhand physical media stores near me. Like there's no half price books. I have to drive at least 3 or 4 hours to get to my nearest one. And, pawn shops are just no good near me. I've had no luck. So just the fact that we get this sale twice a year and I get to go into a store and browse the shelf, pick out a title, look at the artwork, pick out the one that is in the best condition. And then that feeling when, I don't know about you, but that feeling when there's only one copy left and you snag it. And it's just that feeling for a collector, that thrill of the hunt. One of the reasons why I collect physical media, maybe that, I don't know, that's just the way my brain is wired. In other words, long story short, it's fun. It's fun to go into a store and browse the shelves. And that's another reason why I love Criterion because they're available at Barnes & Noble. I can walk in and pick out the movies that I want. It takes me back to those blockbuster days of, just discovering movies and just going back to film discovery. A lot of my favorite movies were discovered at Blockbuster. Walking in, looking at the title, taking it home, watching it, and that was all part of the fun. But as long as it's something that you enjoy, as long as you're enjoying the movies and, of course, buying within your means, hey, I say Criterion is an amazing label. If you're someone who is thinking about getting into Criterion, I hope that these reasons maybe resonate with you and you can start getting more into Criterion like I am. And just, I guess, real quick before I end this video, kind of a backstory of how I got into Criterion. It was around 2018, I want to say, when I started collecting movies. I started off buying only Marvel movies. I wanted to own all the Marvel movies with a slipcover. That was my goal. I went out and I ended up doing it. I ended up buying and finding all the Marvel movies. And I guess once that was complete, I had fun doing that. So it was still an urge there to go out and buy movies. Of course, then I got a 4K TV. So I thought to myself, I need some 4Ks. I need some 4Ks to get the most out of my TV. So I slowly started getting into 4K. That's how I got into 4K. Again, this was around 2018, 2019. And as you start getting more into this world of film, you start to discover the YouTube space or posts on Reddit and things like that. And I guess I just stumbled upon Criterion. And at first, Criterion had a bunch of movies that I had never heard of. And I thought that they were these like really obscure, like greatest of all time type movies that are just super hard to find on streaming, which I know now that's not the case. I mean, Criterion has some duds and a lot of them are streaming on Max. And of course, you have the Criterion channel. My first Criterion purchases were like the must-haves, Seven Samurai, Night of the Living Dead was another one. I kept hearing about Doctor Strangelove. I bought that one. And, some of them have been hit or miss. Some I really love, some I end up not loving. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of fun with this hobby. Like I said, we're in the midst of a sale right now. So I hope everybody is having some happy hunting. You're finding the titles that you're looking for. And let me know, what have you picked up this month? I know I have a haul video coming soon, or maybe it's already posted. I don't know when this is going up, but yeah, let me know. What do you like about Criterion? What have you picked up lately? And or maybe you hate it. Maybe you don't like it. That's fine too. Let me know in the comments why you dislike it or what turns you off about it. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you're having a great day. See you next time. Peace.